Alright, last day, Saturday. We're just gonna be here for about another half hour probably. A little less than that actually. And then we're gonna be heading to the Creation Museum. Then we're gonna pick up our parents, and then we have to walk through the Creation Museum. And we have to do some other stuff there. I'm not really sure about what we're doing. But I'm very glad that we don't have to go up the hill again, because I do not feel good. My throat hurts really bad. So we're now loading people into the van to leave Camp Infinity because everybody is tired of Camp Infinity now.
No, we're not.
How are you not?
Okay, I guillotine.
I'm super tired though. I can't wait to get back home. We have finally made it to the Creation Museum again, and we are almost able to go home. But we have to stay in the van for a little bit. Why us?
Why must we be raptured?
Why must we left? Why must we be
Viewers
left?
of YouTube, please send help.
It says that I'm recording
Send help.
flowers right now. That's so
Send
weird.
help.
Send help. So after killing about an hour, we are now in the room waiting. We're gonna watch the last Adam and then wait 10 minutes. It's a 20-minute video, right? Should be 20 minutes. Okay. And then we are going to actually do the presentation, and then we'll finally be able to go home, and I'll be able to upload these videos. But there's not a lot of Camp Infinity people. There's one there. There's two over there. And then I don't remember the rest. They're all out there, outside the door. Look at that. They're all out there. They're just waiting, staring, watching your every move. For the purpose of making this video longer, we are almost ready to do the presentation.
What the heck?
Yay.
Overnight camp week 1. Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah!
It was another exciting, fast-paced week. Was anybody bored? There's one person bored. But okay, good. We had a good time. We went to the park, came to the museum, had 3 full days of STEM activities, robotics building, drone flying, all sorts of fun activities, a lot of good birds of a feather, if you know what I mean by that, connecting between the counselors and the campers. Parents, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sending your kids and entrusting them to us for this amazing week. I'd like to start us out with a word of prayer, and then we'll get into the program, and we'll try to get you out of here. I think we got to be out of here by 11:30, so I won't belabor it. Father, thank you for your blessings, the gifts that you give to each one of us. Thank you for the Lord Jesus Christ, who redeems us from the curse. We thank you that you have given us technology that we can use to improve our lives and help us fight against the effects of the curse, but we know that only Jesus Christ gives us permanent salvation from these things. Thank you for each of these campers. Thank you for their families. Thank you for this institution that partners with us in these camps. Thank you for our counselors, for all the staff, and just pray that you'd be honored in what we share here this morning, and pray that you'd be with these campers as they go on their way, that they would be able to stand in the various places you put them and proclaim, this is what God's word says. Well, thank you in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to start out, I'd like to introduce you to the team, because they really, that's Camp Infinity. We have programs and we have relationships with Potter's Ranch and Answers in Genesis, and all those are important, okay? But the team, okay, the counselors, the program manager, teachers, my assistant really make up what Camp Infinity is. So I'd like to start out with that. I'm going to introduce a few of them, and then I'm going to have our program manager, she's going to introduce the counselors. So let's start with that. So first of all, I mentioned her name earlier. Where's Miss Ann? Is Miss Ann here? She just stepped out. She's getting some demonstrations ready for us. We'll actually get to see some of the STEM activities. But Miss Ann is her 3rd year with us. She teaches science at a Christian school in Greenville, South Carolina, and does a tremendous job putting together the program. Some of you have been here before may also know Miss Amy. She is returning from a trip in China. She'll be here for the last 2 weeks of our camp, but they get together and they put together an amazing thing. They actually both, this year, they both were taking a class online from Dr. Jeremy Irvin, Dr. Irvin is the Dean of the School of Education at Cedarville University, a school that we partner closely with and get many of our counselors from there. He basically grilled them on how do you make a STEM activity? How do you come up with a STEM lesson plan to make sure that it's properly balanced and biblically integrated and all those kinds of things? And that makes our STEM program very, very unique. And hopefully the kids, how many of you enjoyed the STEM activities? Yeah, good. Just on a count of 3, tell me with one word, whether it's tsunami or earthquake, tell me the one that you like the most. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tsunami.
I heard a lot of earthquakes and different things, so she'll have more to say about that. So we really appreciate her efforts. Then Josh Case, our technology guy. Josh over here, this is Josh's 2nd year. Josh is majoring in information technology at Bob Jones University, a major that I was privileged to start, I don't know, probably about 20 years ago. So I'm really glad to have him here. All of our technology, from our drones to our robots to our iPads to photography and putting together all the video stuff, that was Josh. He had many, many late nights getting all that to work, and so we really appreciate Josh. So if you get a chance afterwards, be sure to come and shake his hand and thank him. Thank you, Josh. And then I moved Brooklyn Summerlin into this list. Brooklyn, would you stand? Where's Brooklyn? Okay, Brooklyn was a CIT-er. It's kind of a new program. We sort of started it last year, kind of a little bit with Sarah, who you'll meet here in a minute. She's a counselor now, but Brooklyn just graduated from Bob Jones Academy, and she plans to enroll in the university in the fall. And I've known Brooklyn since she was a little girl. I know her mom and dad really well. And she was she was a tweener. She was in between high school and college. And so we've been talking about starting this CIT program, Counselor in Training. And so she was here for training week, and then was here for this week of camp, and she just pitched in, helped Miss Ann with the teaching. She helped Miss Brooke with the program, anything she needed, helped Josh, helped all of us, and so we really enjoyed having Brooke with it. I hope that she will apply to be a full-fledged counselor next year. So thank you, Brooklyn. And then my assistant, Emily Barney, many of you have met her. She deals with check-in and check-out and child safety, and the child safety training we go through a rigorous child safety training, a program that helps our counselors be ready for any kind of situation they might hit. I mean, we do live in a fallen world, and we try our best to be prepared for situations and just make sure that everybody's safe and that. And so she also helps with event planning and coordinating with this organization and tons of things. I also want you to meet her family. This is her family. Chris is one of our pastors at our local church, Dr. Chris Barney, and then her 2 boys on, let's see, I guess your left, Christopher. He's come to camp before, and her younger son, Coleman, will be coming in 2 weeks to our overnight week 2, so she's real excited to have another one of her family members coming. And I would be remiss not to quickly introduce you to my family. They're very supportive of what I do, and my wife there in the middle, and she's actually over in Hershey, Pennsylvania this week with 3 of our 5 grandchildren, and she's having a blast there. And so anyway, that's my family, my mom and my aunt there in the front row of that picture, so really appreciate their support. And then Brooke Nelson. Brooke, come on up. And Brooke was a camper with us in 2.0. She did the college camp, the college apologetics camp, and then she was a counselor 2 years ago at 3.0. And then this year she signed on for one of the most grueling jobs of her life. I mean, okay, so she just finished, she got her master's degree in teaching. She got an undergraduate degree in physics. She's gonna be moving to Alaska to teach kids in a village of about 600, 400? 300, the entire village, not 300 students, the entire village in the upper tundra of Alaska. But I'm telling her right now in front of all you guys, she's going to find that's a lot easier than what she did this week. Yeah. She's done a fantastic job. She's like the conductor, keeping everybody playing at the right time, being in the right place, resources, teachers, situations here at the museum. It's interesting when you bring a group of 50 or so here each week, and you're intersecting with, usually anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 guests and all that, a lot of moving parts, but she's done a fantastic job. She's going to introduce the rest of the team, and I think we have a mic over here.
I can also get my teacher voice out.
Well, let's try this. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I just want to say it's actually really cool to be up here because I feel very important. Okay, so I could not do my job without the team of counselors that we had. So I'm gonna point them out and then I'm gonna say something about them. I might need help with your guys' majors, so yeah. Okay, so first one over there is Sarah Mitchell. Go ahead and stand up. She's a geology major at Cedarville.
She's a rockologist.
She loves rocks. One thing about Sarah is she's always like the comic relief. Like she's really goofy and loves to smile and laugh. So we've all appreciated her this last weekend during training. Next to her is Lane Camfield. Lane is going to Bob Jones for engineering, mechanical engineering. And Lane, he actually drove me up from South Carolina to get up here, and he is just like this super steady, very intentional, like with questions, asking and stuff. So he's been just my like fallback counselors. Like I know Lane is gonna like be in a good mood and be able to smile even when he's really tired. Next is RJ Ring. He was a counselor last year and was the camper for 2.0 and 4? 2.0? Just 2.0? Yeah. So he's going to Bob Jones for mechanical engineering, also
Electrical
engineering. Yep, electrical engineering. RJ, I'm sure you will all hear stories of RJ this week. He is the one who can just get all of the campers' attention. It's like a gift that he has. He'll start telling a story and suddenly every eye is just fixed on him because they're all just fascinated with what he has to say.
Tales of
So,
Mysteries.
thanks, RJ. Next is Noah. Noah Duncan. He goes to Cedar.
Yeah.
He is studying computer science.
Yes,
Perfect.
best major.
One thing I appreciate about Noah this last week is he wanted to be on like the bathroom duty in the mornings because he wanted to play his guitar. So I would come out of my room and I would just hear this like guitar music floating through the air as the sun was rising. I was like, oh, that is so peaceful. So that was Noah this week. Next to him is Cora. Cora is going to
University of Tennessee.
University of Tennessee, thank you, and studying chemical engineering. So she's been great. She, when we first met her, she was like super quiet. And I think as the week went on, she got more tired and started coming out a little bit more out of her shell. And just like, she has been so much fun and keeping us smiling and on our feet, so. Next is Joshua. He's going to Cedarville for computer engineering. Computer engineering. So Joshua is like the logic man in the group.
Yes.
Everything that he does like has to be logical and analytical, which I really appreciate, but he also has this really sweet spirit and really wants to invest in the campers.
Yeah.
Next is Caitlin. We're almost done. Caitlin, she is going to Ohio State to study neuroscience and math, which is pretty awesome. So she loves the brain and she gets so excited to talk about the brain. And she also is pretty quiet, but her smile just lights up a room. So it's been like super refreshing this whole week. Lastly, we have Isaac. He's going to school at Cedarville for middle something education.
Math and science.
Middle child education. And he'll basically be a middle school math and science teacher. So he was fun because I just finished my master's program and he's like going into education. So that was really cool. And he's just goofy. All the kids loved him. He was just goofy.
Yes.
So that's my team. They have been fantastic. They loved your kids. They loved working with your kids. And I hope your kids loved working with them too. So.
Thank you very
I
much.
would clap for the camera.
Like I say, she managed them very well. I mean, you know, on Monday we stay at the ranch and have to have all the STEM activities and all the resources there for Miss Ann. On Tuesday we take off early in the morning, we come here and we're here till about 11 o'clock at night with everything under the sun, including stargazing and all kinds of wonderful things. And on Wednesday we're back at the ranch, STEM activities all day. Thursday we take off for Big Bone Lick and the Ark. Interesting combination, good demonstration of conflicting worldviews of the way they view fossils. And so we do that. Then Friday we're back at the ranch and we do activities at the ranch. And then Saturday we bring them all here and she coordinates all that. So we really appreciate what she did. You probably know this by now. Our theme this summer was Earth Science. Every summer we have a different theme. So we have all 6 of them. Next year will be our last of the 6 and then we'll start rotating back through. But we really had a good time studying the Earth and different aspects of the Earth. I'm going to fly through these. You know our program. We're a STEM camp built upon a creation apologetics framework, focusing on conflicting worldviews, helping your young people be able to give solid answers when they are questioned, particularly when they go up into higher levels of academia and pursue terminal degrees. Their faith will be challenged, their beliefs will be challenged. And so we like partnering with you to equip them with solid answers from the Bible, working obviously in very close relation with this organization, which I believe is the leading apologetics organization of our day. And we have fun along the way. You guys have fun? What was
Yeah.
the fun stuff you did? So we do fun. It's not all academic and serious.
Put your hand
I think you all know our mission statement. I love that phrase. I shared it last year. It's okay to be wrong, but it's not okay not to try. Instilling into these kids, you know, you're going to be wrong sometimes. You know, people that make great discoveries, great inventions, they're wrong more than they're right. It just so happens when they finally are right, it's really cool and it's really big and all that. So we try to encourage them to not be afraid to be wrong. It's okay as long as you handle it right and you learn from it on that. And we do lots of STEM activities, and we do our Robots and God workshops. I really appreciate Noah this year. Noah's had a lot of experience with the robots, particularly on the building side. The building side's relatively easy. I mean, you know, everybody plays with Legos from the time they're born. In fact, I just did a FaceTime video yesterday with my oldest grandchild. She's 5 now, and she built a Lego thing for me. And so she's not under the robots yet, but we'll get her there when she's ready. But anyway, really appreciate his, he's done some of the FLL, the First Lego League, and some competitions and things. And you're going to see a couple demonstrations of some of the ones he was able to help with the programming side of robotics. And I'm going to just play just a short video clip, about 3 minutes, to help you understand really what we're doing with robotics. We're not teaching robotics for robotics' sake, although they're exciting and you know they're you know the future of jobs and so on and so forth. But we want them to understand a theology of technology. What does the Bible say about campers are helping you? Okay, all right. So we'll just have her come on up here. You want space on this table, or do you want to do them on the platform? All right.
Darn.
Although last year, how many were here when we shot off the rockets? First time in the history of Legacy Hall, we shot rockets. Somehow made it up there to the AV room, as I recall.
Yeah. I remember that.
Well, first of all, I really enjoyed this group. I wish I had all of them in my classroom. They were asked super great questions, very inquisitive. I love that. We did 7 major activities. So the first activity we did was on global warming, the ice age. We talked about the process of CO2 and the greenhouse effect and how it affects ocean acidification. And we compared seawater to tap water. And I think a lot of them were surprised at which one the pH didn't change. We also talked about plastics. And we talked about the great garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean and the many that are around the world. So our challenge was to create a biodegradable fork out of 3 substrates and to see which one would probably be the best substrate or material to make it out of. So I brought 2 samples, except they're pretty small. So I don't know if you can see these. I'm just going to talk really loud for a second. So I'm putting them against the blue paper. So this one I know kind of looks like a spoon, and this one kind of looks like a fork. But I was very impressed with these. This is really hard to do in the short amount of time that they had to actually create models. But what's really neat about this, and hopefully they'll do this, all these materials are materials that you can get at a grocery store or online. And I've challenged them to maybe go home and see if they can make a better version of this fork. Because again, all of this is compostable. So we talked about the difference between biodegradable and compostable. So you can ask them about that. All right, put this back on. The other one we talked about were tsunamis. And we talked about the 2 major ones that occurred in the last 15 years, the one in Japan and the one in Indonesia. And so we did a demonstration and an investigation on water depth and wave velocity. So what they did is they took this wave tank and they took the block of wood, and we did experimentation with our 1 variable. And we timed the wave, so they dropped the block in water, which again, can't really bring water in here, in water, and then they timed the wave from when the block hit the water, to when the wave hit the end of the tank. And then they were supposed to see how the velocity or the speed time changed as the depth went up. And I think several of them were really surprised that tsunamis actually move much, much faster in deep water than they do in shallow water. And then what we did is we took the data here, compared it to our velocity equation, and then I challenged them to see if they could figure out the time it took for a tsunami around Seaward, Alaska. Figure out the time it took for it to hit Kodiak, Alaska, and Kauai Island in Hawaii. And we had 3 groups that were able to do it within 10 minutes from this. That was really good. And we talked about how important it is for us to know this and how we can help people by warning them about tsunamis. And then the last activity that I want to talk about is earthquakes. We talked about the earthquake in Haiti and why so many buildings were destroyed in Haiti. And this happened in 2010. So I challenged them to make a 2-story building, but the materials were limited. They had straws, string, paper clips, and straight pins to make a 2-story building that could withstand the waves of an earthquake. So we talked specifically about P waves and S waves. There's also surface waves. And what they were supposed to do is not just build a building. It had to withstand weight also. So their goal was to try to get 1,000 grams of sand, and each bag that they had was 250. Now, I know some of you are like, well, that sounds pretty easy. I think it was pretty challenging, especially on the shake table. So I want to demonstrate what the shake table did. What we did is we made our buildings, we put it on cardboard, and we clipped it onto our shake table. So when we talked about the P waves, they're basically compression waves, so we moved our table like this, except on the floor, all right? So we did it this way. Most of them did pretty well. And in an earthquake, the P waves don't really do a lot of damage at the beginning because they're mostly compression. But then we talked about the S waves, which literally look like ocean waves. So then we started pressing down on this. And I don't know if y'all can actually see the movement. I'm going to do it this way. So we push down like this to demonstrate the S waves. And I have to say, they did a really remarkable job on their buildings. Some of the designs of the buildings I was really amazed at. But we talked about why so many of them failed and why they failed. And it was because of the foundation. We related that to our lives. Our foundation must be strong or everything built on top of it is going to fail. So I was really, really impressed with all the activities. Thank you so much for allowing them to come and to do these.
Thank you, Miss Ann. As I say, she and Miss Amy put in hours and hours and hours leading up to camp to put these activities together, and it was exciting to see your kids enjoying them. I need to make one other introduction. Where is Deb and Marty? There. Okay, Deb and Marty, they serve on our board, and she's also, well, both of them actually are photographers, and so they help us a lot with training our team members. Are going to be taking the pictures throughout the week and then showing up and helping us with taking individual pictures and things of that nature. So we really appreciate their efforts in helping. She's also, her house is our landing zone for things I have to get shipped in at the last minute. For those of you that don't know, I actually live in Greenville, South Carolina. My assistant lives there and several of the other folks, but so we really have no home here in Northern Kentucky, so she gives us a place to ship lots of boxes to, so we really appreciate that on that. Usually at this time we have our video presentation, but because we took so many amazing pictures this week, Josh and Isaac helped him and some others did an amazing job. The video presentation was going to be like 30 minutes long, and we have to be out of here at 11:30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post these online later today or this evening, and I'll shoot out an email or a text to you and let you know when and where those are, so so you can, when you get home, you can enjoy those and kind of reminisce over the week. So I think you're really going to enjoy that. Say some really amazing pictures. I love it. I love it when they have these aha moments. They're sitting there trying to, you parents have seen it, especially those of you who homeschool, right? They're working really hard, they're trying to figure it out, it doesn't work, then all of a sudden it clicks. And what do? That kind of thing. And so one of the challenges I give to the photographers is capture those aha moments, capture those faces, and I think it's really cool to see. Okay, so next what we're going to do is I'm going to have RJ come up here for a minute. And RJ has been very instrumental in working with us with the robotics. He actually travels around the country with us sometimes for our Robots and God workshops and things of that nature. And so I'm just have him tell you a little bit about what they did. And then we're going to show you, then we're going to have two segments. We're going to show you about a 3-minute video, a photo clip of pictures of them having fun building robots. And then I have a few videos, again, for sake of time, I won't be able to show all of them to you. I'm going to show you a few videos of them demonstrating and telling what the robot did. And then finally, we're going to have a couple little live demos of some really cool robots. All the robots were amazing in creativity and engineering and programming. So, RJ.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see so many of you back again. This year I have the great privilege, as Mr. Rooster was saying, of kind of just being the one in charge who helped run the robots, though I could not have done it without the help of the team. They did a terrific job when we do it. We spent a lot of time during the week on robotics. I think it says in the back at least 5.5 hours. I would actually probably push it more to 6 that we spent with the kids doing robots. The kids were given, we generally started them off in teams as, kind of time went on. Some of them split off, did their own thing. Some of them made bigger groups, or some of them just, finished and then did something else during the robotics time. But there were many, many, many really cool designs. I know especially we were all almost blown away. I was worried that we were going to run out of Legos this year because we had so many Legos being used in the designs. We have 2 of them right up here that are 2 probably the most impressive things we had ever seen at camp. We could not believe how good they were. Mr. Wooster wanted them brought up and be shown, and I don't know what you want to do with that, Mr.
We'll do that after the videos.
Right. So, but that is a piano, and that is a Simon Says game, and they both work. So
demonstrate these in just a few minutes.
So the kids all did a terrific job. We had so many great moments of being able to help the kids. It was a blast. They loved. Some kids just walked around in there and just watched because they were having so much fun just seeing the creativity come out. It's always a great joy to see kids be creative, and each year we're always surprised at what they come up with next. So thank you guys so much for a good time working and fun discussion and all that during the robotics.
Good. Thank you, RJ. Yeah, love doing the robotics because there really is no end to their demonstration of creativity. And they always come up with really cool ideas. So here's like I said, about a 3-minute little video.
I'm gonna skip this as well.
The memory thing, I want them to explain and just give a quick demonstration of that. Who wants to get the program set up? Who does the program? Okay, you did the building, Alonzo?
I did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the game is set up. Everyone ever played Electronic Simon? Well, it's the same setup except with Mindstorm. So I have 4 color-coded motors here. Well, Josh will tell you about the program, but each one will spin, and you gotta press the corresponding color sensors. These are touch sensors. You gotta press the corresponding buttons. So yeah.
Very good. Josh, tell us about the programming.
Alright, so it's a little bit complicated, but the best way I can put it is we have a random number generator logging the random number and saving it in a line, and then how many times the loop goes, it'll take out that number and then do it to the corresponding motor to spin. And then I don't remember exactly how the sensors work. I don't remember exactly how they work. But in the end, we had to add, sometimes it's not the fastest because it's a little bit laggy because it's not like...
I played it last night. It's a lot faster than I am, I'll tell you that much.
But we had to add in noise, so whenever you press it, you'll hear the color that it is. It'll let you know that the computer logged it and tell you exactly if it actually registered, if you pushed it or not.
So basically, the computer picks a random number and that determines the sequence.
Yes.
And then it spins to show the user the sequence one at a time, and it gets harder each time.
Yes.
And then as the user pushes these, it confirms whether they're right or wrong.
Yes.
It keeps going as long as they get it right.
Yeah.
What's the longest any of the did some of the campers play it?
Yeah, I think the longest went to Jay, and I think he got 17.
Where's Jay? Raise your hand, Jay. Good job, Jay. It's good memory, Mom. All right, let's bring it over here and demonstrate it.
3, 2, 1, go! Yellow. Yellow. Blue. Yellow. Blue. Yellow. Yellow. Blue. Yellow. 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 Blue. Yellow. Yellow. Blue.
That's our microphone. I asked him to intentionally. Oops, I think we've got a power. Well, there we go. We're back on. Give it up for these guys.
Hold on a minute.
Okay, so we are finally out of there. I would have recorded the ceremony where we got awards, but it went by so fast. For one, I didn't really think of recording it because I didn't think I would get anything, and two, pretty much people stood up and then they said something real quick and then they were done. But I got an award for technology because when I was working with Mr. Noah, I asked so many questions. I asked so many questions from Mr. Noah about how it works, and we ran into only, I think, 2 bugs the entire time for this huge, long program. So I'm super excited if it'll focus or not. It's been a little buggy. Oh, and it tells us how much stuff on the end we did. Alright. But it's not like people are gonna pause this.
That is mega interesting.
Wow.
All right, let's go.
Let's get out of here.
How's that ice cream, Josh?
Good. So we got out of the Creation Museum. We got everything done. So now we're just waiting on the shuttle bus to take us back to the cars because the cars are really far away. And we're gonna start heading home and get some food. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can get this, but for some, there's like a ring outside my window. Yeah, there it is. It's like right there on top of that sign on that post over there. It's like a tiny itty. What in the world is that? I can't study my camera because we're in the car, but what in the world? A little bit. I'm gonna eat my food, then I'm gonna go calculate my money, and then we're gonna go up to Florence to get him a new monitor. So this will also be like kind of a vlog of the monitor for Camp Infinity, so Camp Infinity plus new monitor, I guess. And then I'll get started on making my video. But I'm super glad to be back home. Okay, so I'm at the house, and I ate almost all my food, so I'm gonna start editing my video now, and thank you. I'm gonna start editing my video now, and since I still don't think the video is long enough, I'm gonna put it in a time lapse of me editing every single day. It's pretty much just gonna be figuring out what they are and then just like shoving it in there, but I can't wait. Alright, so I just wanted to say at the end of the video, it is already a little too long. I thought it was going to be a lot shorter than this, but it wasn't actually, so I'm not going to have the time lapse in here, but I hope you guys did enjoy all the videos. I have not been feeling very good, so in the, like any time during the videos I said I'm probably going to cut this out. I didn't because I'm not feeling very good. When I got back home I felt awful, but I'm starting to feel a little bit better today. Please pray for me, make me feel a little bit better. And yeah, I hope you guys really did enjoy the Camp Infinity videos, and I'll see you in the next video.